What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Phans, a Dolphins postgame show presented by Sports with Soso. I'm your host, Joel, aka the Delusional Dolphin, and with me, as always, is the host of Sports with Soso. Soso, what's going on, killer?
What's going on, brother? Out here in the West Coast, baby.
Yeah,
but I'm still repping, though.
Yeah, I know where I see the flag right behind you. You take that everywhere you go, huh?
Everywhere, dog. I gotta let people know where I'm from, man.
Representing, dog. Man, it would be a much better episode had we won this past Sunday at home against the Packers. On Christmas Day, man, that was really all I asked for. Everybody kept asking me, so what'd you ask for Christmas? I just want the Dolphins to win. That's it.
I didn't break the losing streak.
I didn't think, that was impossible. I didn't think that was far-fetched or, too out of reach. I really, really had a good feeling. We covered it last week on the episode on Sports with Soso, everything that we expected from the Dolphins going into that game. And that first half looked like it was going to go in that direction. Shout out to Celsius. I see you. I know it's earlier over there. My bad. Sorry we had to do this.
It's all good. We're out here working, though, man. We're working.
And also, sorry for the delay to all the subscribers. Shout out to the subscribers.
That's on me, man.
Yeah, no, that's on both of us, man. We had the holiday weekend, and also we had a loss. So we weren't too excited to sit down. We needed to gather our thoughts. And shameless plug here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't think I mentioned that early on. But yeah, man, the Dolphins first half, they look good. So they look pretty good. We had a couple of crazy plays, that played a Waddle where he broke for 84 yards and Tua was looking sharp. The running game was looking good. We looked like we were clicking. Defense kind of, let up a couple plays there to the Packers and let them get back in the game. And then that second half, man, was abysmal.
Well, that's the fourth straight week, man, where we see ourselves have a lead or potentially get a chance to get the lead into the fourth quarter, and ultimately we shit on ourselves. You mentioned the first half being a successful first half. It was. We were able to run the ball. You and I were texting back and forth how the running game was affecting the flow of the game for the Dolphins, right, and keeping them in it. We didn't see too many 3-and-outs or anything like that, quick 3-and-outs where we didn't have time of possession or anything of that nature. But then when you flip it to the second half and you're like, dude, why is this team so Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Because even as our season, right, you look at it from afar, it's wins, losses. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's never something where it's consistently building, where we lose and then we bounce back. No, it's either we win, or we lose. And that's the type of stuff that we had seen before that we were not hoping to see this season. And specifically for this game, man, because it meant so much. We're on a 3-game losing streak. We're at home facing the Packers, who also need to win. So it's almost like a playoff atmosphere for us. And ultimately, we come up short and we lose the game. That's not, and more importantly, it's how we lost the game, right? We end up losing the game 26-20, but 3 straight interceptions to lose the game by 2. That shit killed us, man. And I texted you, and I know the emotions were running high and all that, but it still remains to this day.
Whoa.
Still remains to this day.
Hold on. Well, we're going to get to that. Because the emotions were running high in that chat. But yeah, man, it was brutal, sitting there watching it. Again, 26-20, you look at it, you're like, oh, that was a close game. I had said it, after the loss to the Bills. If the Dolphins went in and competed, quote unquote, on paper and lost the game, then I would be pissed off. Right. Because after that Bills game, they competed and we lost. We barely lost to a great team. Okay, I can take that. Even though it was the third, loss in a row, I can understand that. But this game right here, man, there was no reason for this to happen. Definition of streaky. 3 wins, 3 losses, 5 wins, 4 losses now. I mean, it's not what we want to see. And I know everybody's out there chanting it out. It's been said. You said it. Everybody's been saying it. Same old Dolphins. That's exactly the sentiment around Miami right now. It's a shame, man. It's a shame because I don't think we are. And this is why the emotions got hot, between you and I in that conversation, because, people are saying this, Dolphins, same old Dolphins letting us down in December. And yes and no, you know what I mean? Obviously the result, this is not what we want, a 4-game losing streak. But to the extent that we've had a somewhat decent season up until this losing streak, I can't just completely forget that. And you had made a comment to me after the game, after Tua's 3 interceptions that ultimately cost us this game. And you said, we're going to be looking for a new quarterback this offseason.
Not necessarily this offseason, but the idea has.
Well,
Go back and read it.
okay, I
Go back
will.
and read it, and I'll go find it, and I'll emphasize what I meant. It's that Tua's long term future does not bode well off of this current performance, right? This 4 game losing streak is what really changed the narrative on Tua's season, because he went from having an MVP season, right? MVP season to now to the complete opposite of that, where people are like, man, maybe that was just a fluke. Maybe he really doesn't have it. Maybe his success was only tied because people didn't know how to scheme for what we were trying to do with his abilities, right? And when you summarize all of that stuff and everything that has been to his career here, it's not so easy to say, yeah, he's the guy. It's easy to say that if you're just all about being Miami Dolphins and whatever they say you're gonna go for, right? But that doesn't necessarily work out for us. If you're looking at it objectively, you have to have some type of hesitation to say, yeah, I'm gonna commit X amount of dollars in 5 years of Tua again. You have to really consider that.
All right. Well, I did misspeak. You didn't say this offseason, but your words were right after that game. Your words were Tua has no long-term future here.
Right, right,
And to that,
you disagreed.
I disagreed, but I also want to pose this to you. Now, here we are. Today's Wednesday when we're recording this, so we've had 3 days to sit on this and digest it. We've now have history, or I'm sorry, new information that Tua was concussed potentially in that game due to a hit where he ended up slamming his head onto the turf, kind of like the first concussion of the season. And, there's, now he's in concussion protocol. We don't know if he's going to play this week, but now in retrospect that you can go, okay, well, man, he was concussed. He wasn't 100% there. He
Right.
needed to really be out of that game. After that point, that was a miss on, medical staff or the Dolphins or whoever. Or you can just say, Tua has no long-term future here. So I want to ask you this. After that information, though, does that change anything for you and your sentiment?
No, if anything, it confirms it. Because if we look at it, if anything, it confirms it, because you look at it from again, if you're the GM, dog, and your boss is the owner, right? And you're in charge of signing this guy for X amount of dollars guaranteed for the next 5 years with Tyreek Hill at his prime, right? We see Jalen Waddle getting up there into his prime, right? You got a young head coach who looks like he knows what he's doing, right? And needs more time to develop. Do you really tie yourself to 5 years of Tua, where he's easily concussed, where he misses games, right? And sometimes you even have to question the staff there a little bit, right? And say, damn, how do we keep missing this on our franchise guy? How do we do that, right? And how do we rectify that? Not saying that that's not a legitimate cause to how Tua played in the second half. For sure it is, right? Because it definitely looked like terrible, terrible throws and terrible decisions that a normal quarterback wouldn't make, especially somebody of his caliber. But again, if we're talking long-term future, 5 years, right? Signing somebody for 5 years, you got to be hesitant on Tua, man. You have to. And I don't know what the replacement is. That's always the question with that too, right? It's always like, well, how do you replace it? Well, I don't know. Do we go Skyler, right? In the next 3 years? Do we draft somebody? Do we wait to see what the market looks like? If Lamar Jackson is available, what happens with Aaron Rodgers? Oh, there's a lot of possibilities here. But for me, and I'm not saying this because I'm getting the backing from Dolphins Nation or Twitter Nation or nothing like that. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, Sports with Social. But you have to be hesitant on how far Tua's career is going to go here in Miami. He misses this game. That's already X amount of games he's missed in concussion in 1 year. It's just not a good look, dog. And when you don't have that good look, it brings everything else down.
No, it's not, man. And I was trying to look for the comparison. I saw somebody had posted it before and after. His total stats: 16 for 25, 300 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. But those 3 interceptions came in the second half. That one touchdown came in the first half. That was the long play to Jalen Waddle. So it's an interesting conversation, you know, and I was afraid of that you know that the concussion would only make it more assuring for you. The fact that hey, he got another concussion, that's 3 in this season. Do we really want to sign a guy who, in your words, is easily concussed? I don't know, man. It's too early to tell, frankly. You know, the season still kind of hangs in our hands. You know, if we win these next 2 games, we make it to the playoffs. I think that kind of, you know, changes things for a few people in that sentiment. Now, if we do that without Tua, I think, you know, that's your point right there. Hey, we just need somebody else there. We got all the pieces in play. It's a shame for me, you know, because I have been a day one for this guy, you know, since we signed him. Initially, I wasn't. I didn't know what, you know, Tua was going to bring to us, but once we signed him, I backed him up. I know, you know, I know what his resume is. I know what this kid's been able to do in, you know, his early, you know, college career, high school, even now early in his professional career. Hell, I even bought his jersey recently, so I definitely don't want to see the guy go, right? Because that would be a waste of money right there.
He's gonna be here next year. We know that. We know that. He's gonna be here next year.
My point of all that is I think that Tua still is our guy, man. This 4-game stretch hasn't looked great, but we can't have that recency bias. Yeah, he threw 3 picks in this game, cost us his game at the end of the day. But what about every other loss we've had this season? They haven't all been on Tua. What about the wins this season? A lot of them have been because of Tua. So for me, it's like I can't really just forget all that just yet. He hasn't gotten me to that point because I've seen, and I know you've seen so many guys in this NFL, in the history of the NFL that we've seen it, bro, that don't deserve to be out there, that for some reason just keep getting put out there and given a chance and another chance and another chance. And it's like, why? Why are you doing that? There's better players out there. And I think Tua is one of those guys, man. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think he's a really good leader. We need to figure out this concussion thing. You know, if we need to pull him for the rest of the season in regards to that, hey, man, at the end of the day, I care more about his health than I do, you know, about a Dolphin, you know, playoff. And especially the fact that, you know, we haven't gotten done these last 4 games. So it's like, what do we have to lose, honestly, at this point? You know, throw in the rookie in there or throw in Teddy, run the ball, and then hope the defense doesn't give up too many points, man.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest, Joel. We all like Tua, dog. That guy is extremely likable.
I don't know, man. As soon as this game ended, I saw a whole lot of Herbert lovers out there.
Yeah, but you know what, dog? When you think about it, like, what has Tua done to be like, oh, I don't like this guy? Nothing except what's on the field. Everything off the field, everything with the organization, everything with how he treats Miami, how he comes to work, how he practices, how he's willing to go back into games even because like everything he's done is proven that, hey, I want to be here for you guys. Whether you guys want me here or not, I'm gonna be here. And I'm going to do my best every time that I'm here. What could you not like about that guy, right? And obviously the team feels that same way with him because they feel motivated with him. They make plays for him. They surround him. They rally around him. So it does suck, right, to see the important thing, which is the product on the field, not match everything else, because everything else points to him being a great guy and the guy for a franchise to have, right? But again, I'm going to repeat it. He's going to be here next year. And we got to hope that he comes into next year fully healthy, right? With that whole concussion problem solved and all of that. But for the rest of this year, we have to take it, like you say, step by step. And we'll look at the season as a whole once the season is over. It's not over at this point. It looks bleak, right? As far as what's left for us to gain. But there's still a lot to play for. You know, we got this
100%. So the scenarios that we still have, and we'll cover this, you know, the kind of the pregame that we have coming up for this coming week. We take on the Patriots in Foxborough. This is a huge game right here. They've been, you know, kind of having their struggles lately, but we're playing them over there, and I know they're upset at the fact that we beat them early on in the season. But if we beat them and we win our last game against the Jets at home, we're in the playoffs. Scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, we beat the Bills. I'm sorry, not the Bills, the Patriots. Or the Jets, either one, I think. And one of them has to lose. I think the Jets have to lose their last game, and we're in.
Right.
So the idea is, you know, all right, we need to win out. We need these last 2 games. That's what we were hoping for already, you know, because we wanted a better seeding or whatnot, whatever. At this point, it's just win or go home, literally. We don't win this next game, it gets bleaker. And it leaves it, you know, in the hands of that last game against the Jets. But we're still alive, technically, for the playoffs this year.
Yeah, but it sucks, Joel. Like you and I have spoken about countless times, man. It sucks that we have to get to this position where what we expected from this Dolphins team was to head into the playoffs with real momentum, couple of wins under their belt, and some positive momentum into the playoffs in order to get a victory. Right now, it's looking like even if we back our way into the playoffs, that first playoff game that we're going to watch is going to be an ass kicking.
We gotta see. We gotta wait and see, man.
It depends on the
Still up in
opponent,
the
right?
air. We gotta wait and see what's gonna happen with Tua this week. If Tua's out, I'm gonna go out and say we're not looking too good against the Patriots.
That's 5 losses in a row, though, doggy.
Yep, and then at that point, we can pretty much kiss the season goodbye if we lose this weekend. So it's not looking great, man. It's been a long season. You know, we've had a lot of highs. Right now, currently, we're at the lowest of our lows.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good, man. Especially, you know, somebody like, you know, me and you that we've been, you know, talking about these Dolphins, covering them all year. And then, you know, everybody's all raw. Yeah, Dolphins, fins up. Oh, look at us. You know, they're backing us up. And as soon as we lose, you know, these couple games here, forget about everything else. Same old Dolphins. Don't care about them. They stink, you know, and it's like,
that's just
shame, man. And boys don't deserve it, man. And boys don't deserve that, man. You know,
it's not a personal thing. We know that, right? But like, it also is a in the moment thing. And if we're gonna do a end of season breakdown, like we said, but when you look at this Dolphin season at a whole, right, we're gonna look back at it and say, damn, we have so many missed opportunities for this season to have been a great season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Great season, and
that's
what sucks.
Yep. No, absolutely. We can't just harp on Tua all game and the injury and, you know, that happened. We got to talk a little bit about the rest of the game, which frankly, I mean, I don't even care to, man. We lost. Like we aired all agreements out already.
I will say one thing.
Yeah, go for it.
This defense, for everybody who thought that this was a great defense or could have been a great defense or it is not a great defense. Never was a great defense. Could never be a great defense. These guys have a lot of improvements to do because a lot of improvements to make. Because when it comes down to making a stop, making a 4th and 1 stop, we can never do it. So this is not a great defense.
Yeah, man, it's brutal. And Xavier Howard, you broke my heart. You broke my heart, kid.
Yeah. This season, now we're looking at him weird too, right?
I mean, no, dude, I've been looking at the dude weird because he's not it, bro. Javon Holland is our best secondary player.
Yeah.
On the D line, man, it's hard. You can make arguments for Wilkins. You can make an argument for Phillips. Sealer, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many guys on that D line that we have that at any moment in time, you know, can do it. But that secondary, man, and then you can make the argument the other way. Hey, the D line's not getting there quick enough. The secondary has to take too long to defend, bro. That's your job. Sorry, bro. You got to stick with the play. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And credit, you know, and kudos to Aaron Rodgers, who, you know, I thought was Washington didn't have it. Man, it's like you can't count the goats out, you know, late in the season when they have a chance, man. Those guys are going to do anything to win. And he lost his main target early on in the game, Christian Watson. That kid's a beast. Lost him for the rest of the game, and he was still able to make play after play after play, man.
I've said it before, bro. This defense has individual pieces, but collectively, they don't got it.
Nah.
I don't know why, but it's not there. I don't know if it's the linebackers don't fuck with the D linemen who don't really like the DBs who think that. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's zero chemistry on that defense. Zero. Which is weird because we have playmakers in all those different facets of the defense.
Sure. But they just aren't getting it done this year, man. They aren't getting it done this year. Yeah, man, that was that. We got a couple more games left. You know, a really weird episodes on our part, a little late. A lot of emotions. Emotions are running high, but it is what it is. My last final thought before we go to 3 and out. So is the season's not done yet, man.
It's not. And I for all intents and purposes, I really feel like these next 2 games we're gonna win. I don't know why, but I feel like these guys know what's on the line right now. And Mike McDaniel, right, more importantly, knows what's on the line right now for his coaching career. He doesn't want to be looked at as a first-year failure or, look, he couldn't do it. He was only a 500 coach. Nah. He wants to be a first-year head coach who got his team to the playoffs with all this stuff surrounding his team. And I'm sure that these next 2 games are really going to help him achieve that goal. So he's going to try to do his best. And we've seen, and credit to Mike McDaniel too, because we've seen the little changes happening in the offense. Case in point, we're running the ball more. So got to give him credit. And hopefully these next 2 games, these guys step up for it.
Backs against the wall, man. Backs
That's
against
it.
the wall. Take us to 3 and out.
3 and out, y'all. This is where we give you, well, first and foremost, is sponsored by Empire Boutique, City of Plugs, Miami Springs, Hialeah, Florida. Let's get it. This 3 and out is where we bring you our bruh moment of the game, our oh shit moment of the game, and our aqua and orange lining of the game. For me, the bro moment of the game was the 3rd interception that Tua threw, man. Because for sure he was concussed because he didn't even like try to throw it to somebody else. Like the linebacker saw him and it was like, yo, you ready? I got you. Bam! Game over. What about you, man?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was gonna go with, man. Because again, another, this is why he's gonna get ragged on so much, is because late in the game, just we have a chance still, even after a bad showing in the second half, we still have a chance late in the fourth quarter, and we do that, man. And it's like, bruh, you had it. Like we just needed you to do what you've been doing well all season. And yeah, I don't know if that concussion was to blame or not. I like to think it is, but bruh,
who knows? Let me ask you this. The second portion, I misspoke. It's the underwhelming performer of the game. Who's your underwhelming performer of that game against the Packers?
I mean, it's easy to go with Tua on this one, especially for 3 picks. That's a very obvious one. But to keep dogging on him, bro, Xavier Howard, bro, he's making me sick out there with his performance, man. Yeah. He's looking, even when Javon Holland came on, he always looked like, all right, this is gonna be the 2 to his 1, the 1-2 punch. And now it's like it's not even like Xavier Howard's in the conversation, man. It's just Javon Holland back there, and that's it. And I know they're playing 2 different positions, but X is letting a lot more stuff develop now that's causing Javon Holland to kind of get be more involved everywhere. And it's like, dog, we used to be able to depend on you every game. Now I don't even know what to do with you.
Yeah, he's definitely underwhelming this season. Definitely underwhelming this season, though. For me, the underwhelming performer of the game is Jerome Baker, man. That guy is, for all intents and purposes, our best linebacker, right? And for all the things that he's done well this season, he hasn't really done anything to stand out.
Sure, I agree.
He hasn't. And this game was one of those games, right, where he's 2 steps behind every single tight end. He's late to every tackle. He's the 2nd to 3rd guy, defending on the play or something like that. I don't know. That's part of the issue with the defense. We don't have those guys who is a true leader and steps up and says, yo, guys, rally around me. Yep. Jerome Baker was supposed to be that guy, and I don't think he even showed up on Sunday. Let's wrap it up with the aqua and orange lining. For me, it's that we do have destiny in our own hands when we face the Patriots and the Jets. We win these games, we build some confidence, assure ourselves a playoff spot. That's the aqua and orange lining. We have that opportunity.
That's exactly it, man. There's still a chance for the playoffs this year. The season's not, as much as it feels like it is 4 games, losing 4 games late in the season in the way that we've lost them. It's not encouraging, but hey, mathematically, statistically speaking, we still have a chance this year to get into the playoffs.
Facts.
So we got to get it done. Backs against the wall. Got to get it done.
Yep.
Oh man, what a sad one, man. Wow. Hopefully we've had four of these, losing recaps, bro, in a row. I mean, they lose,
and I
we
need
lose
this to help me get through the show.
Shameless plug for Celsius.
Shout out to Celsius.
Oh man, but no, it was a good time, man. As always, we appreciate everybody tuning in and joining us. Riding the wave with us. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, so we can keep bringing you stuff in 2023. This will be the last OnlyFans of 2022. So
no more losses.
Yep. I guess we'll see you guys next year. So appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support this year. Look forward to the next year. And until next time, y'all.
Peace.